heading southbound where I came from on the 27th. And AT headed northbound, which is where we're going today. Good morning, everyone. It is a terrific day on the AT. It is day 32. Welcome. To those who may not know me, I'm Bricks. Welcome. For those of you that have been joining me this whole time, it's good to have you back. We are starting day 32 and coming off of a great rest at Mountain Harbour Bed and Breakfast and Hostel. What a fantastic place. They receive my highest marks as a hostel or a stay, if you will, off of trail and a great resupply place. I can't say enough great things about everything. The facilities, the staff, the food, oh my goodness, the breakfast there, and really for that matter, the dinner. Both are very good. They make everything on site. They have a food truck that makes dinner, prepares burgers and things of that nature, but very good quality food. Well worth the stop. I started my day with one last breakfast to fuel my body, to get going. And again, what a terrific stay. I'd recommend Mountain Harbour Bed and Breakfast and Hostel to anyone on the AT or even not on the AT. There's a lot to do here. So even if you're a day hiker or section hiker, totally worth the price, the time. The experience was top notch. So today I'm excited, as if I'm not excited every day on the AT. Today we're gonna get to see some waterfalls. We have some pretty good terrain, at least from what the profiles look like. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna hit the 400 mile mark today. Actually, in about 4.5 miles, I'm gonna hit the 400 mile mark. Super excited. I've got an 18.4 mile day planned to Moreland Gap shelter. It should be a good walk, good weather, no winds today. We should have partially sunny skies, highs in the 50s. Should be some good views. That being said, let's get started. So when you were walking, it's important to look behind you because not all views are to the north. There's our first view today, everyone. It's a beautiful day. Good morning, Appalachian Trail. That's a beautiful tree. Pretty pine forest. And what do I find? Oh, how sweet it is. 400 miles down. It's official. So how cool was that? 400 miles down, 1,794.3 miles to go. Oh, it's a great day. Every little milestone, every little achievement just adds fuel. Keeps you going, keeps you smiling. Every big goal is made up of a bunch of little goals. On to the next one. All right, everybody, we're taking a short blue blaze to Jones Falls. Little 0.1 mile just off the trail. So Jones Falls was totally worth it. It was really nice, really pretty. Only 0.1 off the trail. Absolutely worth it. Met a day hiker down there, Ira, who was hiking with his dog Scout. Scout's a good boy. I love seeing people that have an opportunity to hike with their dogs. It takes a well-trained, well-tempered, well-socialized dog to be able to do that. But for those that have spent the time working with their animal to develop those qualities and gain a good hiking partner, it's really cool. So had a great conversation with Ira and got to spend a little bit of time with Scout. It was really nice. You meet some really good people out here. That's pretty. So here for a little bit, the trail goes along the Elk River. It's a really shallow river, at least this time of year. I don't know if it gets deeper at various times of the year. I don't really see a flood level that would indicate it gets much higher than what it is. Maybe a foot or two. But it's a really pretty walk today. Second set of falls today. Mountaineer Falls. This is Mountaineer Falls. Well, everybody, it has been a terrific day. I am approaching the Moreland Gap shelter. I'm about a little less than half a mile from being there. My body feels pretty good. I may evaluate, look at the Far Out app when I get there and see if there's an option within 5 miles that would maybe allow me a little bit of extra hiking time. It's 4 o'clock now, which is generally a bit earlier than I like to get into the shelter. But that being said, I will evaluate it and confirm when I get there. But all indications are that Moreland Gap shelter will be my stop for the night. So everyone, I made it to the Moreland Gap shelter, and I've actually got about an hour and a half before night, and so I thought I would do something a little bit different, especially since I'm the only one sleeping inside the shelter. And I thought I'd give you a tour of my setup in the shelter on how I prepare my items for a night in the shelter. A lot of people are really concerned about rodents, particularly mice, inside of shelters. And so with a little bit of precaution, you can overcome some of the concerns and things associated with mice. So I thought I would just take a little bit of time and show you my setup and talk about my food items and things of that nature as well. So let's go ahead and take a look. So first, when I come into a shelter and I get set up, the very first thing I do is I set up my sleep system to get it, everything nice and ready. My spot is claimed and it's ready for me to hop into. So a little bit of, items. I do have the footprint for my tent laid out below my sleeping mat. That allows, if in case there's any splinters or anything, it provides a layer of protection for my sleeping mat so that it doesn't get punctured or anything like that. Kind of helps it stay a little clean as well, because the shelter boards are exposed to the elements, and so there is dirt and dust and stuff like that, so it helps it be a little bit clean. I lay out everything. So inside I actually have my inflatable pillow. I have my sleeping liner inside that I will climb into with my quilt. Your system might be a little bit different than that. Things that I need in the morning when I first wake up, like my stuff sacks for everything. My stuff sack for my sleeping mat, my quilt, my pillow, my liner, they're all in here. And I put these in my foot box, so that way when I wake up, it's right there and I can go ahead and start putting things away as I get out of bed. I will charge my electronics tonight, so like my Garmin InReach and my phone, and I have my battery backup with me. Depending on the temperature, I can either leave these out to charge, or if it's cold, especially below freezing, I put them inside my sleeping quilt with me. Keeps them warm, helps keep the batteries from dying because of the cold. Any other clothes that I might need in the morning, like my windbreaker or anything like that, I put inside my foot box as well. So that's really kind of like my general sleep system. Once I have my sleep system set up, I actually change into my camp clothes. So I have my warm, dry items inside, and then I set up everything for the next day. So obviously you want to hang your packs off of the ground, and generally you want to have some type of bottom of a cup or bottle or something like that. This one was already hanging in the shelter. Mice can climb along surfaces, and so if they come to a cord and they climb down, they have trouble navigating across the top of this, and so they can't climb further down onto the pack. So it gives them just a little bit of extra protection. Now mice don't just want food, they want salt. Salt is a commodity out here, and so they will sniff around for food and things like that. So to keep things off of your pack, or to keep them off your pack, you have it suspended. But anything that is dirty or anything like that, especially salty, I hang from my pack as well. So you can see I have my trekking poles suspended from the same thing. My hands touch the cork, especially. They love cork. Cork absorbs sweat, and so they will chew on the cork. My clothes that I wore today might be a little bit difficult to see, but I hang my wet clothes that I hiked with from the straps. This will allow them to dry during the night, and allow them to be ready for me to use in the morning. Now, if it were going to rain or something like that, and I was concerned about them being exposed to the elements, I would take them and I would put them in my foot box as well. With your pack, it's important that any food items are out of your pack. Mice are drawn to food smells, and just like other animals. And so you double check all of your pockets and everything, make sure that all of your food items are out and are inside your food bag. Anything that is close to the ground, you'll want to tie up. So my pouches that are suspended here, I will take my pouches and I will tuck them into the straps like so, and this will allow them to not hang, to allow a mice or something to grab onto. So I have this one here I need to tuck in also. I'll make sure I, tuck this up here as well. And that way all of my straps and everything are nice and secure. Doesn't give a quick foothold or anything. My shoes, if I've got the opportunity to hang my shoes, I will do that as well, because there is sweat and things, and salt does gather inside your shoes. Mice will sometimes chew on your shoes, but in this case, since I'm the only one in the shelter, I took advantage of an extra hanger, and I'm hanging my shoes up tonight. If the shelter is full and there's no hanger, then I just put my shoes on the ground or someplace like that. You obviously don't put them on picnic tables or anything like that, because those are eating surfaces and you don't want to put your dirty shoes where people eat. Sometimes you have to kind of roll the dice with your shoes, but in this case I've got the availability, so I went ahead and hung my shoes as well. Now, anything food related, anything that has a scent or a smell, this includes wipes, this includes toothpaste, this includes really anything that you have that has an odor to it, which includes your food items. They go inside of your food bag. Inside my food bag, I also have my spork, my cup, my hygiene items, anything that I cooked with, because there are food smells on them as well. So they go inside my food bag, and then I hang that from a bear line, not only one to keep rodents out of it, but also so that it doesn't attract bears or any other type of animal that might be attracted to scents as well. So in a nutshell, that is how I set up my system and everything for a night's sleep when I'm in a shelter. And so everybody, with my food items hung up, my backpack hung up, my sleep system and everything free of food and smells and things like that, I can enjoy a good night's sleep in the shelter, relatively free from any concerns with rodents. If there are mice in your shelter, you will hear them scamper around, just like anything else. They're going to want to come and check out what has changed since the last time that they were out and about. So they will move around to check out things, to smell around, to see if they find anything. But you will find that once they have sniffed around and haven't found anything, they'll leave you alone. And you can actually enjoy a good night's sleep in a shelter. It's not for everyone, and if it's not for you, Obviously, you can set up a tent as well. But with these simple precautions, anyone should be able to enjoy a night's rest inside of a shelter. And so this concludes day 32. It was a good day. Hit the 400-mile mark on the trail. We had a good view of some waterfalls. Not too many other views of the horizon and things like that, but that's okay. It was still a terrific day to be on the Appalachian Trail. It was a good, nice, comfortable 18.2 miles, I believe. And so I'm all set up tomorrow for a 19-mile day. There is a weather forecast tomorrow for more severe winds. And so tomorrow I will hike all day, hike 19 miles, and I will stay the night in a hostel to get some additional shelter against the wind at night. And there is some rain expected tomorrow night as well, Wednesday evening going into Thursday morning. So that hostel stay will get me out of the elements. It's not a resupply. It's not a 0 or a Nero. So I will just be resting and then getting up the next day and continuing down the trail. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your comments. And as always, thanks for joining my journey. I'm Bricks.